Welcome back, everyone, to ATD Demo Day Content Authoring Tools. I'm very pleased to introduce today's third demo of the day with eLearning Brothers Learning Think Outside the Tool with the Studio by ELB Learning. Domenic Caleo, we just practiced this and I'm messing it up. Domenic Caleo is a learning solutions engineer at eLearning Brothers, and he is here to guide us through their demo today. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to him to take it away.
Thank you, Alexandria, and I'm not mad at you mispronouncing my name. Let's go to sharing my screen here. And I'm going to start off with a question for the attendees. And thank you, everyone, for attending, taking time out of your valuable day. But have you ever wondered why you attend a webinar given by e-learning professionals, training and development professionals, showcasing and explaining all these wonderful tools for doing e-learning, and they use PowerPoint? That's always been boggling my mind. It's like, why don't they use the tools? So even though you're seeing a PowerPoint slide on the screen right now, I'm not going to stay in PowerPoint very long. We're going to dive right into the tools. So with that said, let's take a look at what we're going to be talking about. Over here on the screen, I know it looks very complicated, but we're not going to stay on this very long. Basically, on the left side column, where it says course outline, I have built out an entire multi-modality course. And the good news is, instead of I'm going to give you this very brief PowerPoint, but in addition, I'm going to give you access to this full course. So this is not going to be a lot of talk. I'm going to show you some of the things on how I built this course, but I'm going to give you, at the end of the webinar, access to the entire course so you can kick the tires and actually experience these things for yourself. But to get back to the blueprint, okay, the course outline on the left-hand side, in blue, I've got my opening, and down at the bottom, it's got the ending. And highlighted in the tan, orange, yellow, whatever color it is, are different topics. So the first topic I have in this course is going to be about the LMS, the Learning Experience Platform. It's on delivering training. Then I'm going to be talking about in the course authoring, gamification, immersive VR learning, and video practice and coaching. The sequence of these topics is very logical. Talking about the Learning Experience Platform is logical to come first, because before you could author any training or have any gamification, you need to have a delivery platform. So that's what I'm talking about in the course first. And then the content comes before gamification. And even though some of these topics can be switched out a bit, they're sort of like going in order of complexity. So immersive VR learning is a little more complicated than gamification. And then we end up with video practice and coaching because it does some things that are very unique, and it should be at the end. These other columns on the right is me briefly showing you in what format did I deliver the content: PDF, page, video, SCORM, and all of those columns, all of those content design options could all be done and is being done by your authoring tool. But when I say think outside the tool, some of these items, and if I look at the game column for X under learning, engagement, and fun, there's a Jeopardy game. If you're trying to engage learners and make learning fun, I know you can do it in your authoring tool, but there's a better tool for it. And that's where think outside the tool, which is a phrase that I coined, comes from. When you're designing a high-end learning experience for your learners, there's very often a time where you want to think outside the tool and bring in some other authoring tool to really hit the target and deliver on these points. And the same goes for bringing in an arcade, a virtual reality experience, and the rehearsal video coaching. Enough talk about this. I'm going to show you one more slide. Okay, here's the same thing, but it's done in a way that you can use it. So you could put in your course welcome in any format that you want. But for topic one, how do you want to put your content in? So in the first column where it says content, you put in PDF, video, Scrum course. It doesn't make any difference. You can make multiple rows if you want to separate those different types out like I did. When it comes to learner engagement and fun, I know you could do it in your authoring tool, but you're going to want to pick up a tool that's either a game authoring or an actual gamification platform. And for each of these elements, learner engagement, you want to use a virtual reality or video coaching. And if you want to document performance, nothing does it better than having a video archive of a learner's performance before and after training. So now, enough with the PowerPoint. Let's swing over and take a look at the first one, course authoring. And let's take a look here at, I built this course. Actually, I did not build this course. This course is on the solar system with the planets. And all of this content was generated by AI. And the way I did it was like this. File, create a new project. Now, this is in the Lectora authoring platform. That's ELB Learning's authoring tool. AI course wizard. I specified the number of pages. Here's the prompt that I put in. And I'm asking for a course on the solar system. And let's do something different. And then explain DEI. Let's see if it understands what that means. I'll reduce the number of pages because we want to do this kind of quickly to 5 pages. I'm going to pick my theme from all of the available themes in here. We'll do this one because it's nice and shiny. And I click generate. So this is one of the options of creating a course. It's our new AI content authoring tool built in Lectora Online. You get the online and desktop versions both included in the license. Once created online, you could transfer it to the desktop if you want to keep developing this. This little animation and this little text down the bottom keeps you entertained while the AI goes out and starts building the courses. But you specify how long or short you want the course. You can pre-select a template. The theme can always be changed later on. And lo and behold, after a minute or two, I'm expecting to have, okay, I asked for a 4-page course. It gave me an introduction page and diversity, equity, inclusion, and a conclusion page. Very nice. The formatting, the AI doesn't really understand formatting prompts too well. So basically, you're typically going to get a paragraph of text where you could go in and edit this and format this. You could put in a picture and any type of animations, but it's a good way to jumpstart your course. So any questions, drop them into the chat. Christy will be monitoring that. Alexandra will be monitoring that because I'm going to move right along to VR because I want to save time for Q&A. Here I have some images, and they were all created by our AI component. So let me show you that. I click plus for another scene and for the AI wizard, and we'll put down picnic on the beach. I don't know why that came to my mind, guys. I have no idea why, but I could have typed in anything. You could type in anything you want. But what I'm showing you here is if you don't need a 360 camera necessarily to use our VR authoring tool, with the AI wizard, you could use a image generation platform that's integrated into the scenario VR, and it'll generate. So now I've got to, so I picked something really silly. So now I've got a picnic laid out on the beach, and I could use it. I could not use it. We'll click use it. And just wanted to show you how easy it is to do that. And what I've done here is these are different images created with the AI wizard. So this one's kind of neat with a hospital room. I was demoing that and someone asked for that. Someone asked for an Italian restaurant. So this is one view. Now, the pictures here, I'm Italian. It's not Italian food here. But the good news is you can edit these pictures if you have Photoshop. And so I could replace these pictures with Italian food pictures and actually take something that the AI generated and make it even more usable. The next thing I want to show you here is I am going to run this. I'm in edit mode right now. I'm going to run this. And here's this. Again, this is restaurant scene that I have here. And this is my starting scene. I'm looking at the door. I'm going to go through the door. And this is my next scene, again, also generated by AI. I am going to return. Now, when I return, what do you think I'm going to see? Remember, in the previous scene, I was looking at the door. I'm going to click here, and I'm not looking at the door. This is something that you're not going to find in too many VR authoring tools, or at least you're only going to find them in the very, very high-end ones. But if I just walked out of the room and I walk back into the room, am I going to be looking at the door I walked through? No, because on the opposite side of the room, if I walk through this door and I come back and I'm coming in this direction, I'm going to be seeing this view. So let's take a look at, go back to edit mode. And let's go to another scene where I haven't done anything. Let's take a look at how did I do that. So I'm going to click on the plus sign. And you can see I could add a hotspot, a question, just an information card. I could add audio, images, videos, timers, a 3D model. I could add a scene, which I showed you before with AI. I could add a timed event. That's a lot of stuff you could add in here. So I could add any of these things for a demo. I'll click on a hotspot. And I can make the hotspot visible or not visible when the scene is launched. But what I want to show you here is actions. There's a lot of actions. When I click, I could link to a scene, play a scene that's paused, jump to a certain time in the scene, show and hide objects, animate objects, enable, disable. I can control my media and my timers. I've got variables and I can set scores. And if you've used variables before in any other authoring tool, you know that with variables, you could do amazing things. You could time the way things appear, have conditions when someone answers a question wrong. And there are questions you could add in here. Depending upon how they ask a question, it could jump to a good scene or a bad scene or whatever. I could jump to external links. And when I jump to when I link to a scene, okay, let's link to this scene. Here's how I change the perspective. I set scene direction, and if this is my default view, and I want to change it to this view, I click done. It's as simple as that. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed and learned something from this quick little introduction here. I could publish this out. I could publish this out to HTML5, XAPI, CMI5, SCORM, a couple of different versions of SCORM, Windows offline. Hybrid SCORM is going to give you a SCORM file without any of the content in it. The content resides on the Scenario VR servers, so you'll have a small little very, very small file size to upload to your LMS. We could publish directly to Docebo, and I said to SCORM, or if you could just leave it on Scenario Live, we'll track all the metrics using XAPI, what the user clicked on, how they responded to questions. Awesome, awesome, awesome experience with a ton of metrics. Let me move right along because I know I don't have too much time. Now we're going on to gamification. I can show you how to edit a game. Super, super, super simple. I don't want to take your time from that, but this is our arcade platform. And the learner gets to see their overall performance, how many experience points they've earned, how many games they played. We can take a look at all of their achievements, all of their digital badges. Over here, there's a free spin. Now, this is put in as a motivating factor to encourage employees to come back to the gamification platform. All these are learning elements. I've got a couple of games in here. This is actually a SCORM course. This is really awesome. So all of your existing SCORM courses can actually be delivered in a gamified platform. I'm going to show you this journey, which I love, in a moment, but this is a free spin. So you see all these points I've got on top of the leaderboard. It's my demo platform. I'm in here a lot. But if I click on this, I get a free spin only once a day. And so if I get rewarded, small prize, 61 experience points, and that's how I'm racking up these high scores. A little competition in the organization can be really good, and that's what that's there for. But Journey is a really, really powerful experience. And by the way, everything I'm showing you, the virtual reality I showed you before, you'll have examples of that in the course I'm going to give you access to. You're going to have access to this arcade that I built out. And when you access this, you're going to be able to access level 1, but not the other levels, because you have to take them in sequence. But I'll give you a quick peek at what's in here. So here at level 1, I've got a PDF and a video to watch. On level 2, I've got this looks like it's a SCORM course that I built out. Here's a link to my personal blog site. Here's a Jeopardy game, and everything is pertaining to e-learning development. Here's a scenario VR example. This one's a trivia game. And as you go up the levels, you keep earning more and more experience points. So we got that gamification element in there. This one, we're near the end of the course. So here I put a video to watch, and here is an opportunity to record yourself in rehearsal. Now, this is logically, the video practice comes at the end, because you want to train, you want to give employees the ability to practice a lot. And at the end, it's like, okay, Domenic, I've taught you, I've given you information, you've had an opportunity to practice, you've had an opportunity to get some feedback. Now, what can you do? Let me see your video. And that's why I typically put this at the end. And then at the end, I like putting in a jump game. And you're going to be able to play a jump game when I give you access to the entire course built out. The jump game is mostly fun, but there is some learning that takes place in it. So I like putting it at the end as a reward. And then finally, at the end, you get to print out your certificate of completion that I have right here. And you could do the same in the course I'm going to give you access to. How did I do that? Here's the back-end administration. These are the elements I have in here. So the track learning metrics is the SCORM course. I click here in the upper right-hand corner to upload a SCORM course, and that it then becomes added to my library. So, and then I could just click add, select an activity. So I've got all these things that I've uploaded into the system. I would find what I want. So once I upload a SCORM, it'll be listed in here. I click add, and it gets added to this. And I can drag things around to change the order, and the end result is going to be something that looks like this. And finally, last but not least, I see I'm doing pretty good with the time. I'm going to bring up the rehearsal video coaching. I'm not going to spend time on the basic elements of what the video coaching platform is. You'll learn about that. I've got that into the sample course that I built out. But what I want to show you is what's so powerful and unique about the rehearsal video coaching platform. Instead of just letting employees record a video and have someone provide feedback, it's what happens if the assignment is complicated. In sales and in leadership, there's very often a situation where you want the person to ask some probing questions first to identify what the needs are. Then the second step may be to repeat what you thought you understood to confirm understanding. Then you propose the solution. Then the next step is to find out if the solution is understood and acceptable to the client. And then you maybe want to wrap up with next steps and using SMART goals and stuff like that. Now, that's very complicated. If you try and do that on a basic video coaching, you're not going to be very successful, because employees are going to be very frustrated. They're going to record, they're going to make a mistake on step 2, 3, or 4, have to redo it all over again. Very, very frustrating. So we have the ability to break up something complex into multiple string together shorter videos called micro-learning. Small bites, chunking. You guys must be familiar with all those terms. You could do it in rehearsal. However, that presents a problem. If for every single one of these videos, and what I just described had more like 5 or 6, if every single one of these videos sent a video to the manager, what organization would use it? That's going to be 5 or 6 steps. And I got 100 employees. That's for each step, I'm getting 500 videos times 5 or 6 steps. It's 300 videos. I don't have time for that. So it becomes unusable at scale. So what we enable you to do is not only chunk the content into micro-learning bits, but also automate the process in a variety of ways. So in here, I'm going to click Edit. We have the ability to have you put in keywords that you want the employee to use. AI will detect the language, so this is multilingual. AI will generate a transcript. AI will analyze the transcript for these keywords and then judge pass or fail based on that. We also have the opportunity we just released for forbidden words. So if you're in a legal or medical field, you may not be able to use the words guaranteed, 100%, perfect. It's like foolproof. It's like, no. Those words we can never say. All right. So you want to make sure they say things and avoid certain things. AI will do all this for you. The video does not have to go back to the manager. Should they fail, and pardon me if I'm speaking too fast, but I have a lot to cover, you can provide a page of additional learning for those that have failed. Text with links and formatting, videos, PDFs, a nice robust authoring system if you want. So what we have here is a personalized learning path, because some employees will go straight through not needing any help. Some may need help in one spot, some may need help in another spot, some may need help in both spots. And the additional ways we automate this is, I showed you text analysis. We have the ability for them to practice a part of it and have it automatically complete, meaning they don't have to do anything. They submit a video and go on to the next, submit a video and go on to the next. And we do that so you could have people practice each phase step by step by step by step, and then only submit the final video with all the steps together to the manager. We also have the ability for them to self-grade. Why would you want them to self-grade? I submit a video to you and I'm like, I've been in this business for a long time. I know what I'm doing. I grade myself 100. Now you look at my video and you go down, you did really, really good. But at the end, you didn't use the SMART goals we wanted you to use to set next steps. Please try it again. I wasn't perfect. Now, Christy, on the other hand, Alexandria, let's use Alexandria. She submits a video and she grades herself a 75. And you watch her video and you get back to me, Alexandria, I go, you are awesome. You are like the top 5% of the company. We'd like to share out that video with the rest of the company, which the platform does have the ability to do. And we want to add you to the leaderboard. So you know that some employees need to be made known that they're not perfect. And other employees need to be known, boost their confidence because they're really doing awesome and they may be too hard on themselves. And then eventually, of course, we've got the mentor feedback where they can provide video and text back feedback and ask the employee like Domenic to do it over again because it wasn't quite spot on according to company standards. I think I am ready for Q&A. So let me bring up my, okay, I'm going to do what I said I hate doing. I'm going to bring up the PowerPoint again. And let's go into view mode. So this is a little recap. So you're going to get this PowerPoint, just a little recap of some of the outstanding features of each of the tools in the studio. And you're looking at what's in the studio package. Each item is available individually. It's available as a suite of products. What's not in here is the Rockstar Learning Platform. You're going to learn a lot about that when you take the course. How do you take the course? This is it. Okay, here's the URL. And here's your guest logins. This is all anonymous because you're not putting in your email, you're not putting in your name. I don't know who's what, but if you're not the first one to use one of these email addresses, you very well may find that whoever came in before you has answered questions and you're going to see their answers. So you won't have an option to answer. I mean, you may be able to change the answers that someone else has put in, but if you would like to have access to this course, for you and your team, full access without it being anonymous, shoot me an email. My email's on the first slide that you're going to get. Shoot me an email. I'll be glad to welcome you and your team in to kick the tires and try the course. With that, are there any questions?
All right, thank you. That was awesome, Domenic. So a quick question, if you are interested in maybe just one of these options, maybe just rehearsal, or if you are interested in all of the things that you talked about today, like scenario, VR, all of these things, how does that work for folks who are interested in moving forward with you? Do you pay for everything? Can you pay for just things here and there? How does that work?
I think I meant, thank you, Alexandria. I think I mentioned that briefly, but I'll repeat. The studio is a collection of all of these. However, each one is available individually. You don't have to purchase them all. We have a package pricing for the bundle. They could be purchased individually. There's also discounts for multiple if you just want 2 or 3. So, let us know, hook up with me, hook up with Christy, link, connect to us through the website. In the e-learning course, you'll have links to all these different products individually. Towards the end, I put in my meeting calendar. You could book a time with me and I'll hook you up.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to move on to our next questions. They're LMS related. So the first one is, what if you don't have an LMS? You're a one-person team or a one-person firm, but you're interested in creating and building things in this tool. What would you recommend for housing things that they're authoring with Studio?
Very, very good question. And there's 2 options. The Rockstar Learning platform, which if you log in to ours, you'll actually see it in action. And it's got a lot of cool features that I have not seen in other LMS systems. And I'm not saying it's the best in the world because everyone's needs are different. But one option is to purchase an LMS like the Rockstar Learning platform. But then another one is the VR and the games and the rehearsal. They all work with a simple link. So if you don't have an LMS and you've got 20 people that maybe you're a training coach for, you could create these learning experiences and then email Bob and Alexandria and Christy and Dominic. Just email us a link and we'll experience the VR, we'll experience the games, we'll experience the video coaching. Excellent question.
Cool. And then the next LMS related one is, if you do have one, I like my LMS, I want to keep it. How does that work? Am I still able?
Very, very common situation. It's not every day that a company goes out shopping for an LMS. I mean, it's a major decision, and it's not something done every day. So everything that you will experience in the Rockstar Learning platform, when you take the course, pretend it's your own LMS. It all works seamlessly. Okay, every link is embeddable in any LMS. I don't know if I have an example of a game or a rehearsal linked from a SCORM-based course, but yeah, it does that too. So the VR and the games can actually be embedded inside of a SCORM-based course, and that would be a SCORM that goes up on your LMS. A rehearsal can be linked from a SCORM-based course or directly from an LMS. Excellent question.
Great. I don't know if I see new questions coming in. Let me just make sure in the chat here. We have Christy, who is part of the ELB team, who has been answering questions throughout the demo. Thank you so much, Christy. And thank you to Domenic. This has been great. Oh, okay. So there have been a couple questions about subscriptions, which Christy has addressed, but do you want to just help clarify, Domenic, any things about the subscription process? Is it annual? Is it monthly? Is it for one person? How does that work?
Yeah, the subscription is usually on an annual basis. And like with the games, whether you are subscribing just to our 10-pack of games or the whole arcade platform, unlimited use. With the rehearsal platform, unlimited use. You don't have to pay for bandwidth. You don't have to pay for storage fees. There's no limit on the size of the videos. So basically, the price we quote you, there's no caveats. There's no reading between the lines. There's no limitations. But that's another good question. Mm-hmm.
Great.
I encourage everybody use these links because experiencing it is you're going to learn so much from experiencing it. And then give me feedback. Okay, how do you like the presentation? Do you like there was less PowerPoint and more hands-on? Do you like the fact that it gave you access to experiencing all this? Because there's no way everything could be covered or learned in one 30 minutes or even an hour session. And so when you learn a little bit more, I'd love to hear what you thought.
Absolutely. It is very hard to show all of the things that you all offer in 30 minutes. So thank you for giving us a really high level, strolling through so many different number of your offerings to the eLearning Brothers team. Thank you so much again, Dominic. Thank you to Christy for helping us in the chat. And we are right at 2 o'clock. So I'm going to send you all off for one more break, 15 minutes. And please come back, join us again in 15 minutes for our last demo of the day. Thank you all.